So I'm on a business trip last week, right? Connecticut to Pittsburgh. It's supposed to be a quick, easy trip, 3 hours, no problems. Just get to where I'm going, check in, go over my presentation, relax. So, end up in Philadelphia, from Connecticut to Philadelphia, no problems, right? Get on the plane, thinking, oh wow, the plane's lightly loaded. Oh, this is gonna be a nice relaxing trip. I got nobody sitting next to me. And all of a sudden, boom, here comes the waves of people. There's no empty planes anymore. It's like they have it all figured out so that every plane's packed. Okay, fine. I get it. It's all about economy. It's all about, the bottom line. We get on the plane. We're all sitting there and, we're all like jostling for the armrests. And, this guy next to me is like, I tend to be a little passive, so I'm sitting there like a fucking loser. He's got the armrests. So we're sitting there and we're supposed to take off at, I don't know, 1 o'clock. The plane budges. We're sitting there, okay, here we go. And we're sitting there for 5, 10, 15 minutes. Starts to seem a little long, right? Well, we're sitting there a half hour and, I'm already getting a little anxious. I'm already feeling like, there's something wrong. The pilot gets on the announcing and he says, oh, there was an issue. The push pole that pushes the plane back out of the gate broke. And now we're looking for the inspector. I'm like, okay, I'm an engineer. I'm thinking, I get it. The thing that pushes you out of the gate broke. And it's jabbing through the hydraulics or the tire or the fuselage. And I'm like, okay, this isn't going well. I'm already like getting anxious. And this is only like 15, 20 minutes into, our departure time. Well, we're all sitting there and we're all twiddling our thumbs. And, I'm like, I don't know if it's Aspergers or OCD or I'm an engineer or what, but like I'm looking around and everybody's kind of relatively calm. The guy next to me is playing video games, and I'm like I'm already at the end of my rope, but I'm like calm it down here. He comes on 20 minutes, 25 minutes later and said, "Well, here's the deal. We're trying to find the inspector. The inspector has to come out and find out whether there was any damage to the plane before we proceed." And on top of that, we have to get this a new push pole truck out. So that's 20 minutes, 25 minutes. 45 minutes go by and they still can't find the inspector. The good news is they've got a new push pole truck out there. And so, an hour goes by, the inspector shows up. And now I'm thinking, okay, we're going to have to deboard. It's not like I'm in like, Nigeria or, the middle of Africa. Deboarding wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I'm like, I just don't want a distraction right now. I don't want a hassle. I just want to get to where I'm going. Let's just fucking fly this thing. I don't care if we have to slide from Pittsburgh to Ohio at this point. I'm just like, let's just go for it, right? So, an hour goes by and there's signs of an inspector and the pilot comes back on, and now they're passing notes between the guy in the cockpit and this inspector, and I'm thinking, okay, where do I sign? Let's just take this fucker off. I don't give a shit at this point. So anyway, another half hour goes by. Now we're an hour and a half sitting at the gate, and I have pity on these people who wait for 6, 7, 8 hours on the tarmac. And I'd be like chewing off my fucking arms at this point. I just like, I don't know how these people could deal with that. I don't know why fist fights didn't break out. So we're sitting there and finally the inspector checks things out and everything's okay. And I'm like thinking, yeah, okay. Whatever this push pole was, it might have gone through the tire, the hydraulics, the fuselage, I don't know what. But I doubt this inspector had any. American Airlines, by the way. So anyway, they're passing paperwork back, logs back. They're gonna sign things off. I know how that goes, signing things off. And then finally, an hour and a half, almost 2 hours later, we're creeping. They're kind of teasing us with us. Like, it's kind of like it's kind of like being with a bad girlfriend, right? They're like teasing you, they're pushing you a little bit, and then they're stopping. They're pushing you a little bit, and you're sweating, and you're thinking, oh boy, this is gonna be the best blowjob ever. And it's like push, no, push, no. But, it gets to the point where it's like, bring some dude in here to jerk me off. It's like, well, let's just get this over with. So finally, the plane starts rolling. We're all sweating. And I'm looking around and I'm thinking, why am I the only guy here that's fucking panicked? Why is everybody else like, oh, okay, this is cool, this is cool. So anyway, we finally get on the runway, and I'm like, at this point, again, I don't care if this fucking thing crashes at this point. Let's just go for it. So the plane takes off, blah, blah, blah. We finally get in the air. Now we're late. Now I'm getting into Pittsburgh at it's getting dark. We get up in the air, and finally the waitresses, you know, they bring out the push cart, and I'm like thinking, okay, any distraction at this point is gonna be fine. Bring me a Coca-Cola, bring me a bag of pretzels. I'm like thinking, oh, a bag of pretzels. This menial offering will make me feel like a human being again. Well, they pushed the cart all the way to the front of the plane. They locked the little wheels on the bottom, and they're just about ready to hand out the first nugget, and the pilot says, there's going to be a medium to severe amount of turbulence coming up here. Well, the waitresses pack the cart up and roll it right past by me. And I'm like, psych! Now I really want to kill myself. Now I'm like, I know there's only like 15, 20 minutes left in the flight, but I'm like, now they're packing up the fucking meal cart. And I'm sitting in the back of the plane thinking, this really sucks. That's like, oh my God. I get it. It's simple. It's just like, throw me a biscuit. Throw me some something to look forward to here. So anyway, the plane landed. We got to where we're going on time. It wasn't a big deal, but it's just like, the aggravation of flying with human beings on a plane. It's just not something I'm excited about. And I didn't want to tell you about the trip back. But anyway, I thought I'd share that with you, and happy flights. Thanks for tuning into KAFKUBA.